I'm having to fight against mosquitoes here, and so for a second I'm even thinking about malaria.
Yes. No, 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 that's the scene, right? So I'm struggling here. My time is ticking, and I actually blunder as well against you.
Chess, nonsense, and analysis.
Yes, here we are again, Watu. What are we having a look at today?
Well, today the viewers are going to be given a treat because you will be telling us about your experiences. The essay closed.
Okay, so all right, we're flipping it on me now. So let's see, what can I talk about the 2024 essay closed about? Let's see. Where to start? First of all, I was pretty happy that it happened. There was a lot of doubts that the event would not even take place. And of course, it should have happened in December, I think. But like I said, I was quite happy that it actually happened. I was quite happy that most of the top players actually played. So it would look like quite a nice event. And maybe just Mabo was missing there. Mabo was one of the players that didn't play. Not sure why, but so interesting event.
And Grandmaster Solomon, of course.
Oh, of course, and of course, GM Kenny, right? Kenny wasn't there.
Yeah.
I think also just this tournament happened this last minute. Not sure as well exactly, but of course we were missing the GM over there. So, but some new young faces into the team. My tournament. Okay, I played reasonable. I think I played a bit. I don't know if I'm shifting over to the next generation here, but I played a bit like an old guy for my own standards, I think. So a lot of moments I should have switched over to the next gear, and then I hesitated, and then I left it to the next round and the next round and so on. So it's a couple of quite a few places where I feel like I should have been scoring more, and it was clear to me that I wasn't in great shape. So, but okay, the event.
Can I
happened.
jump in there for a second? Because it's interesting that you mentioned that, because but I think we need to also look at the schedule in a sense that all the games are starting at 4:00, which is it's relatively was it 4 or 5?
I think it was 4.
4, right?
I think it was 4.
Yeah, it was 4. It was 4. So I mean, it's relatively late, because I mean you're getting into time trouble very, very late. We're finishing at 11, and there's also some double rounds. So I think I don't know what the thought process was now, because I don't think anyone was working during the event. But I know that in many cases they hold it at 4, so that if someone is working, they can still play.
Yeah.
But I think so that's the point. But I just wanted to say that. So that also.
I think that definitely. I don't know if you can get a better time though, because if you're traveling from whatever side, if you're not close to the venue, then you don't want to be traveling after 4 as well. So that also plays a role. But okay, everybody has to deal with the schedule, right? And so let's see. So okay, so the youngsters are coming through, and the team is quite young. In general, I think it's a good thing for the growth. And some very interesting things happen. Not your usual essay closed. I'm not sure how many I've played in. I've played in a few. And of course, the first big thing that you see on the brochure that you pick up is, of course, that it's without any prizes, right? So it's a big one. You have to take this into consideration. If you compare it now to the people that are working and have more responsibilities compared to the juniors that might not have so much on their plate. It's difficult, especially as I closed when you are playing any event basically locally, and whether you're playing for 500 rand or $1,000 or whatever. It's a different dynamic when there's no money, and it's also 9 days or something. So it's a lot of commitment. It's a lot of sacrifice, and it wasn't easy to deal with that. But of course, we love the game. We want to play. Lots of us have got, or different players have different aspirations. Okay, I made the team twice. I would love to go again at some point. So that was clearly my goal, to go and play and try to make the team. But it was difficult with the schedule and everything that was happening. But in general, I was happy that the event actually happened.
To say something in, it's also, I feel, in every event, if you're looking for performance, there's gotta be a carrot that will let you shift gears, so to speak. And you cannot shift gears on your own. It happens subconsciously. It just happens on its own.
Yeah.
So what I mean is, either one, there's gotta be some prize money, right? And prize money doesn't necessarily mean, okay, if there's good prize money, like let's say at the Moja event, right? First prize 50,000, great. That's actually a very big carrot. But such a big prize money can also go both ways. It can also stifle you, because now it's just too much, right?
Yeah, it can be. Yeah,
it can be. But that's the first one. But I think the second one, which is important to mention, and I'm happy that you say, because you've played already in the SA team many times, is that thing of wanting to qualify to play in the team. That in itself is a big carrot that can make you dig deep. That can make you, if you're tired, your body gets that second wind. It gets those reserves, because your being wants this, right?
Yeah.
We all want to win, but it's not like I really, really want this. You know what I mean? So you are not on the same intensity if you've played already many times versus someone who has never qualified. Right?
I get you. Yeah.
Their intensity is much more.
Yeah.
Right. Of course. So I think that also has to factor that in. Yeah.
Definitely.
Yeah.
Definitely. I think that's quite a valid point there, Watu. So, I mean, with all this weirdness that's happening, every player's probably got his own checklist of things that he wants to accomplish from this event. And so actually a few funny things happened during this event. So I'm also a bit uncomfortable with having the arrangements for the men's room or the ladies' room, the toilets, right, being on another floor. Not particularly comfortable with that for various reasons. But okay, it's the second time that we've played at this venue, and once again, everybody's going through the same conditions, but that was certainly not one of the comfortable aspects of this event. And what else? So that the tournament now I've got a funny story, a couple of them actually. Part of my journey in this tournament, and one of them is I was playing against, which round are we going? Yeah, I was playing against you in the one game, and I for some reason chose another variation. Every time we play, we seem to be going through the whole encyclopedia of openings, and for some reason I keep on getting myself into unfamiliar territory somewhere early on, and I'm trying to not show, and you trying to get me out, and it's a weird space usually between the games between you and I, because I want to keep the game. I want to steer the ship in a nice, easy boat, and you just shake it. So I'm trying to, yeah. So I mean, we get into a Sveshnikov, something that I've never played against you before, and okay, I'm trying to be ready for everything, basically. Trying to be ready for everything. Of course, I need to check the standard stuff that you play. And okay, I've been preparing this for quite a while before the tournament, and lo and behold, you play a variation that I don't expect, and this one I looked at a long time ago, and I stumble into a variation that I can't castle. This is now the type of position I need to get. So it's chaotic. We are both burning time from the get-go, basically. And okay, next to us, we've got Daniel Caudry and Charlton Miasta playing. And this round, Charlton started playing this Richter Hauser classical Sicilian, right? So I haven't seen him play this before, but he picked he's probably prepared this opening for the event. So he surprised me in I think it was round 2 with this line, and I just bombed out. One of my 2 losses of the event was against him with that line. And that also showed my lack of preparation when it comes to this, because I switched over back to E4, played this Sicilian, and I just said I was not well prepared for it at all. But in any event, coming back to this round, I'm watching Caudry play against this classical Sicilian. Caudry, when you're playing Caudry, also if you're playing a Sicilian or whatever, I remember what Mabu told me this long time ago.
Right.
So Mabu was telling me some story about Caudry, and he said that if you are playing black against Caudry, so if Caudry plays white, he's gonna do it right. He's gonna play correct. Whatever he's gonna do with white, he's gonna do it right.
Right.
Now, what I can also pick up with Caudry, he's always trying to surprise you. Whoever is playing a Sicilian, whatever, he's always trying to keep you on your toes, but he's gonna play something sharp. So he plays something sharp against Charlton, and okay, every once in a while I glance. But I don't have too much time to glance, because I'm trying to find ways here I'm basically going through a jungle here on this side with you. And halfway through our game, I see, but okay. Caudry sacrifices something, and Charlton's king is starting to make a run to the center of the board. But Charlton is ice cold. He's just moving. Caudry sacrifice. Charlton is just moving his king. He's just saying, okay, you go ahead and find it.
I remember that as if, he's in big trouble. His king is in the middle of the board.
I'm sure.
But his demeanor is
I'm sure Charlton can feel everybody's eyes go big, but he's just
normal. Just playing the moves like nothing is happening.
So, okay. So that's entertaining, and now I'm starting to, okay, as usual, back to our game, the usual storyline is I start to burn some time up somewhere. I'm starting to put some pressure on myself. In the meantime, I think I'm becoming a bit more happy. I'm beginning to like my position. And as I'm getting a bit more excited, I think, okay, I'm happy now with my position. Picked up a pawn somewhere, or you sacked, I can't remember. And then things are starting to get a bit hot in the venue. And the ventilation was not good.
Right.
And I can tell you this. So I spoke to, I think, I don't know, was it Andrew, one of the arbiters? But it was so hot that I actually asked him can't they open up a sliding door? So that, I think, was a mistake.
Okay.
Because, so eventually they do open the sliding door. And now things are getting even more tight on the board. And you do something to keep me really busy, and I'm thinking again. And time pressure is looming, and now it's becoming so hot. It's so now the air is coming in, but as the air is coming in, it's getting even, for some reason, it's so humid. I'm starting to feel mosquitoes. But it's just that one day. The other days it was fine, but the mosquitoes, and I'm starting to swipe here.
You know what? Right? Sorry to jump in as you are.
Yeah.
As you are telling me this, I'm laughing because the same round I was talking to, because Daniel, by the way, he's got a mate. He has to checkmate Chelsea. I don't know how many moves, right? He, I mean, completely uncharacteristic of Daniel, right? I mean, if there's one person in the world who's gonna find the mate, it's Daniel normally. Easily.
Give it to Daniel, yeah.
He doesn't find it. He goes completely crazy. He ends up getting mated, right? So now, he then the next day, Daniel, you know, I remember this because of when you're saying about the mosquitoes. He says, I mean, can you imagine the conditions? He's frustrated, you know, but everybody's frustrated, you know.
Yeah.
But the funny thing about the event is that I noticed that the guys who are frustrated are the older guys, you know, because the conditions are really not great. But when you're younger, you can ride this, you know, you know, and probably for the younger guys, it's actually better when the conditions are not so great.
Yes.
Right? Because then you're taking away all the experience, you're taking away everything, because then everything's in disarray. You know, you get chances, right? Anyway, Daniel says to me, can you believe that they're not even turning on the aircon, the fan? Just, okay, let's forget about the aircon. Let's talk about the fan. Just turn the fan on, you know. And he says, here I am. I'm having to fight against mosquitoes.
Exactly.
I'm having to fight against mosquitoes here, you know. And so for a second, I'm even thinking about malaria. You
know? Yes. No, that's the scene, right? So I'm struggling here. My time is ticking, and I actually blunder as well against you. I think I'm winning. I blunder, and now from that moment, I'm trying to figure out. Okay, wait a minute. I blundered now. I must actually just try not to lose now. I need to now figure out what to do. But as I'm so focused, I'm swiping mosquitoes. It's humid. I'm sweating. This is difficult now. It's like psychologically. And now I look to my left. I see Cordry. Now, usually Daniel, he's already stuffed up his position. You can see he's unhappy. He's thinking longer. Usually when Daniel is unhappy, you will hear it. Usually he's going to do something. He's going to be complaining. But all that I'm looking at this, all that I'm seeing, Dan is uncomfortable and he's just swiping mosquitoes. He's not saying anything. I'm like, what's going on here? It's like I'm in a Bermuda Triangle. Like I'm stuck in this humid situation.
You know what?
I'm swiping. I look at Daniel's doing nothing. Like, what's going on?
As you say that, to me, the funniest thing is that not necessarily that round, because I was not on the board, but when Daniel was playing against Luto, because he you know, the biggest upset of the tournament, he lost to Luto.
Yeah.
And you know, as I was saying, Luto was touching pieces and everything, right? So anyway, I'm also involved in my own time trouble against Manele in that round.
Yeah.
But then what was also surprising to me was Daniel is so like resigned, you know. I mean, he's not you know, getting upset and everything. You know, he obviously is very upset, but he's not doing anything.
Yeah.
You know, he just, I mean, at some point he just said, I resign, well played. You know, he said to didn't say anything, signed the score sheet, left. I was like, what's happening? You know? So,
yeah, definitely. So that was a tough moment for me. You know what? So there were two big surprises about that game for me. So the first surprise, I'm going through all of this. I need to first of all psychologically adjust now from winning I need to survive.
Right.
I'm seeing all of this happen here. I know you are relaxing. You are walking around. You've got more time. And now their game is done. Charlton actually wins. And the only thing that Daniel can say is, now Daniel is also now, I don't know, he's dumbstruck now of what's happened. But usually Daniel, if he's losing, all that Daniel can say is, you should have resigned earlier. That's all that he can say. You should have resigned earlier. So, of course, Charlton just signs the score sheet, and that's that.
Did you say it was plus 50?
Yeah, maybe, yeah, he was plus, I don't know, 100 or whatever, but yeah. So, okay. And then the second big surprise was, of course, after me sweating for so much, okay, I figured out now what to do. And okay, now I'm resigning myself to a opposite color bishop ending, but now you have this outside passed pawn, and I had to figure out, okay, I need to play rook c5 to keep the pressure on this pawn, so that you cannot be active, because I can even, when the momentum shifts, you can even just go down. So I need to figure all of this out. Eventually I figured out, and when I play, okay, I thought, yeah, this is gonna be a grinder, and you offer a draw. I'm like, okay, thank you, I'm happy. So that was the other surprise. I thought you might just use that momentum over there, but yeah, it was a weird tournament in that regard. So I was experiencing some in that round. That was weird. The other rounds I think was not so hot, but that particular round I remember I was fighting against the mosquitoes. Okay, so the couple of rounds later. How many rounds? Let's say I've got this list here of my tournament. Okay, so I played you in round 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, and then actually a few rounds early on. So this other round, round 3, I'm playing South African Wolf. I'm playing Keith Komalo. So I'm playing Keith, and so there's a space in between the tables, right? So there's 2 boards here and 2 boards on that side. So I'm playing on closest to the corridor, or the space in between, and on that side we've got Panele and Jan Karsten playing. So of course we all know Kitonsky and Panele, they go a long way. And and of course, Kitonsky and Banelevich has been on my channel as well, on the CKC channel. We all know each other. And Jan Karsten is a debutant here in the SA Closed. And I also know Jan now. Jan has been moving up quite nicely. And and I don't know if it was from the African champs or the All African Games, but Panele has been playing this, even early on in the tournament, we've seen him playing this Jobava London.
There he is.
Right? So the Jobava London. And so I've had a few encounters with the Jobava London. Even I tested it out a couple of years ago as white. So I had some ideas to what to do against it. I think I faced it in the Moya once, but I didn't have to do deep analysis on it, but I had some setup. And in fact, let's actually jump over to the board, Watu.
Okay.
And so this
You're
setup
playing
that I had
against Keith, yeah?
Keith, yeah. So the setup that I've had has something to do with okay, if we go through the first few moves. And by the way, so Keith, in fun little small story. So I'm sitting, and on the other side next to us, I think it was Michael Simpson next to me, and not sure who he was playing. But just before the round starts, actually, the FIDE representatives, this lady, was she a vice president?
Oh, yeah.
She was there, and they made an official move here, took photos at my board with Keith. Right? So she needs to come make a move. And usually the player says, okay, you do this move. I'm not sure, I can't remember who made the move, but she made a move with Keith because he had white. But before she got here, Michael was asking what must she play, Keith? G3, because Keith, of course, loves his G3 systems, right? Catalan, G3. I'm playing black. What can you expect? So Keith says, okay, maybe not G3, maybe something else. I might never play G3. Might never push the G pawn. Maybe only later on. Okay, they come and make moves. I don't know what she played, E4, whatever. Round starts, and here Keith plays D4. I'm ready for some Catalan. Knight C3. Okay, so I don't know. I think Keith and Banele must have been sharing a place to stay or whatever. Of course, ideas.
Mm-hmm.
And Keith honestly surprised me with this Knight C3, most likely Jobava London. And I know I saw Banele play it. And now Keith is playing it against me. And I look to my left, and Banele's got white against Jan Karsten, and they've got the same position. So I've got this against Keith, and Jan Karsten is black against Banele, same exact position.
Yeah.
Okay, so now I'm thinking to myself, okay, now I need to check. I'm actually playing Banele possibly here now for the few first moves.
Right.
Of course, now it's interesting to see what Jan Karsten might play, but I have a setup in mind. I have a setup where I play A6. So it's just directly stopping knight B5, and I look that way. Jan is playing A6. All right? E3, E6. All right? And bishop D3. And where there was a small nuance here. Yeah, okay, so yeah, I played C5.
Yeah.
But for some reason, I also had a setup in mind where the knight goes to D7. Let's say, okay, so knight F3 is not the most critical move, but point is if you can get C5, and usually white does stuff like this, and black wants a setup with B5 and bishop B7 and have a lot of space.
Yeah, it was comfortable, yeah.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. Actually, the bishop is misplaced on D3. You can push C4 as well. So, but of course, the idea here with bishop D3 is not to play knight F3. Potentially, white can do something like G4 here.
Right.
But in fact, I think this is not bad to do this, to allow this. In the actual game, I decided not to go knight BD7 because I was looking at G4. But a few rounds later, Jesse February played my wife Robin Klaasen, and they had this position as well, where I think Robin played knight BD7. Not sure if she played G4 or not. Anyway, so there was a lot of Jobava Londons in this tournament. So bishop E3, C5 happens, takes, knight F3, knight BD7. I'm going into my setup. I still want to play B5 and bishop E7, and I look to my left, and Banele and Jan Karsten has got the exact same position.
Actually, you know what happened is that Banele started laughing, right?
Yes.
And I kind of, because it's completely quiet in the hall, and he starts laughing. So okay, I made my move, and obviously you are curious, and then I kind of stood up and went to see, why he's laughing. And then I checked, and I just couldn't believe that these positions on both boards were exactly the same. It was like very weird, you know?
Yes.
Yeah.
And I think there was some story. I actually didn't do a check on the story, but there was some story a long time ago. I think it was maybe Shirov as well. Shirov had a similar experience with someone else at a tournament where these games were exactly the same. Now, if you have someone, if Shirov is playing the same line that I'm playing, I'm waiting till he moves. I want to see what he has up for grabs. Right? I want to check his preparation. So this is a funny moment actually, because I was curious as well. I'm making a move and I'm glancing that way because I'm sure Jan is also working hard at his theory, and So I'm kind of double checking my moves here. I make a move and I say, oh, okay, you also, okay, my moves might be okay. Okay, we comparing here. And at some point, castle, b5. So, okay, one thing that white, of course, needs to watch out for is this e4. Black needs to watch out is e4, right? So we go b5. Yeah. Knight e5 was played. I thought knight e5, initially when white played knight e5. Now, this was also played by Banele, by the way. So everything up to this one. So initially I thought, but is knight e5 not a bit too early? And what I was analyzing was knight takes e5, bishop takes e5, and then bishop d6. So this was my initial thought. And if white has nothing but to take on d6 and queen d6, then I think black is quite happy, because black is going to always answer e4 with a potential d4.
Yeah,
and
lots of space for black.
Yeah. Lots of space. I think we're going to be happy as soon as we are done with development. But then I started looking, and as I analyzed, I'm thinking knight takes e5, bishop takes e5, bishop d6. What if white plays f4? And I wasn't so happy about this, actually. And I'm not sure. So I'm thinking, okay, it's either I do this knight takes e5 and bishop b6, or I just continue bishop e7, of course. But bishop e7 might allow queen f3 or something. What's the point of knight e5? So, but now I'm tending more towards bishop b7. And take my time, I look that way. And, okay, Jan Karsten went knight takes e5. Bishop takes e5 and bishop d6. And
did f4 come?
Now I'm unsure what to. So now I'm actually taking my time here, because the only thing that I'm curious about is what is Banele gonna play now. I want to just see if Banele confirms my analysis. And Banele is taking long, and so I'm thinking here as well. Eventually Banele moves and Banele goes f4. So okay, I was a bit unsure about this. I didn't like this, so eventually I parted ways with Jan, and I went bishop b7. I decided, okay, I'm not going into that. Now in the back of my mind, I'm just thinking, okay, myself and Jan, we're playing the same setup, similar opponents, okay, but then Banele is slightly higher rated, right? But one thing's for sure, I need to outscore Jan now. We are not playing each other in this round, but we are playing the same setup, same position. So if I cannot lose now, I cannot lose, because if I lose and Jan wins, then we're playing the same setup. So I need to defend myself here. And
I see.
Eventually, let's just see what happens. So queen f3 takes. I go bishop d6, so the same idea. Queen f4 takes a castle. Okay, white does something over there on that side. And yeah, again, like I told you at the start of everything, Watu, I was definitely not crisp in this event, which is my own fault, of course, taking nothing away from my opponents. But these type of positions, I think I should be playing much faster. I remember spending a lot of time here, and it was unnecessary, basically. I think black can play a few moves. A5 is one even, but I went for queen b8. Of course, white.
But you probably can play more ambitiously, right here, I guess.
97 is also 97 or a5.
Yeah, I like something like 97.
Yeah,
because you get a chance to either play knight c5.
Knight c5, yeah.
Yeah, but okay. But black is okay. I mean,
yeah, okay. So he of course doesn't want to trade. He's got nothing if he trades. h6, queen h4. And I'm beginning to be happy with my position here, actually.
Yeah.
Bishop f5. Okay, I've got some options. I go bishop c8 here, and knight g3, and okay. Again, I don't think queen d6 was really necessary, but at that state that I was in, I think I wasn't in great shape. When you're not in great shape, you start doubting and you start thinking longer and everything. Anyway, rook d1 takes queen e6, and now he had to play this sad move, queen h3, and the attack is gone. And I think I made a mistake here for my own type of play and for my shape that I was in. Yeah, I played a bit too automatically. Incidentally, it's the best move what the engine gives. So I go Rook FC8.
Okay.
But instantly when I played Rook FC8, I noticed that, okay, my opponent he wants to play tactical here because long term my position is quite nice. So he gets an opportunity to play E4.
E4, yes.
Right? So, but if I have just sunk in a bit, maybe I play Rook D8 or something. I just consolidate, and if he doesn't play E4, I'm gonna slowly take over.
Yeah, I think you start with Rook FD8, right?
Yeah, just put the Rook on D8, Rook C8, and then I'm happy. I'm super. He's got no attack. His queen and knight is stuck over there. Yeah. So, but I go Rook FC8. He goes E4, and okay, I reply instantly with D4. I was quite happy with this move. But there's other moves here as well, by the way. I think, if I'm not mistaken, I think the engine
gives something like... 94 Rook D5.
94 Rook D5.
Knight G5.
He can move his queen somewhere.
Queen G4.
Yeah.
Sure.
You see, from the stable position that I had, I was too lazy even to look at this. I was unhappy calculating this.
Sure, wait a second. This, I don't know. I just saw, like, I was thinking, like, knight takes E4, like this variation, like knight takes E4.
Yeah.
Rook takes D5.
Yeah.
And maybe, yeah, I just saw, but it's very dangerous for you, I think. Because I was thinking now you go knight G5, queen G4, you go G6, knight takes, and king G7. But I think he can play queen takes G5, queen takes D5, knight F5. Can this be dangerous for you? Probably very dangerous, yeah? I don't know.
Yeah, okay, this is weird. Yeah. I mean, this is not something I want to step into.
Could be very dangerous, no? Yeah,
yes.
Okay, I was just trying to sort of make knight takes E4 work.
Yes.
But not so easy. Mm-hmm.
You know what if I remember properly, I don't have the engine on now, but if I'm not mistaken, the engine gave something like G6 over here.
Oh, wow, directly. Oh, the knight.
The knight could just be trapped, right?
Okay, so, G6 is very nice.
Nice.
Oh, wow.
It's just to show the viewers out there, something like this, and if the queen trades, then the knight is trapped.
The knight is trapped.
Queen H4, maybe H8 or something, I don't know.
So it means he cannot take... Okay, wait, let's try and see. So what does he play after G6? Let's go back. Yeah, right. Yeah.
What does he do?
So the question is then, what should be played here?
If you cannot take,
and I'm sure knowing Keith, he probably played E4 very quickly.
Yeah.
I mean, sure.
This is such a nice move.
It looks very dangerous for white. Can white just stabilize this? Is it possible even? Might not be.
No, I think it's busted. It's no queen H6, right? We just take the knight.
Yeah. Well, let me just check this engine for interest's sake. Yeah, it's done. -2.
Yeah. Okay, so I had lots of chances here.
Wow.
G6 is nice. I went D4. I was still pretty happy with D4, but just to show you the type of shape that I was in, you went Rook D3, and here I played the worst move. Okay, so again, I did my natural thing when I'm out of shape. I was again, playing Keithonsky, of course. And now I'm out of shape. I'm down on the clock again, quite considerably down. And I put myself under pressure. I see Rook D3. I thought Rook D3 is not possible. Start getting a bit on edge here, and eventually I just played knight takes E4.
Sure.
Why? So that's perhaps not that was not the way to go. And as instantly again after knight takes E4, queen G4 happens, and now I'm fighting to survive. Sure.
Now it's tactics. They look, and the rook on D3 looks very threatening.
Yes, it's beautiful on D3 now all of a sudden. So I had to I had to fight for my life here with G6. And yeah, this was not nice. Okay, eventually I managed to
You're fine.
Yeah, eventually I managed. But coming back to this position, just lastly, instead of knight takes pawn, okay, I see this move coming, right? Rook G3. Do you have any suggestion here? How should I handle instead of knight takes E4?
Okay.
Because I was unhappy. I took on knight on E4 because I'm like, okay, I can't allow this guy to attack me. But again, it's me being low on the clock, me being too nervous. I just didn't handle it. Yeah, if I just calmed down, took a bit of time.
Right. I'm calculating knight h7. Knight h7, knight g5. Maybe rook g3, knight g5. Queen. Nah, that's not nice.
Isn't h4 coming eventually? Yeah.
That's dangerous. Okay.
So this looks scary, right? And of course, now it's easy for me to talk because I've already analyzed it a bit. But
no, it does look scary.
Looks scary, but I was shocked when I checked the eval. The eval black is just almost just winning. And so
you just take on c2.
No, we don't take on c2 immediately, but all that black needs to do is neutralize the attack, right? Because we've got all the positional features here. We've got the c4 pressure and everything. So all we need to do is just prepare for this move. So it's got a double threat of g7 and taking over here. So we go king h7. And once white goes there, we step back with knight e8. And there's no mate. There's nothing.
I was trying to make knight e8 work, but okay, king h7.
Yeah. So, okay, I missed this idea, and now I'm just completely winning. I don't need to do anything.
This is one,
I can just pile up the pressure on the C file.
The queen is basically just out of the game.
Yes.
Yeah.
So, okay, poor play there by myself. Kitonsky did enough there to keep me busy. And so, eventually I drew the game. Jan actually lost that game against Banele, so at least I scored a bit more than Jan. Okay, tough luck there for Jan.
Right.
But Banele played well there, and so that was my funny story there, or funny moment there, where we had the exact same boards at this essay closed, and yeah, that hasn't happened to me before actually. So
it's very rare. It's very rare that it happened. Yeah.
Interesting stuff there. What else? Is there anything else about the closed? So. Yeah, okay. I'm excited to see what the team can do. I'm happy that there's a couple of youngsters that's gaining valuable experience. That's going to gain the experience from the Olympiad. I think it's going to be great for them. It was definitely a close that you could see that the youngsters are coming through. The older generation wasn't there the way we have been there in the past, but I'm not completely convinced that it has turned over completely. So we'll have to wait and see. But yes, hopefully everything is going to adjust towards some type of normality. I know it's going to be a slow process, but we are hoping that Chess SA is moving in the right direction. So yeah, that's my essay close. Of course, in the last round, I kind of just bombed out there against Jan Karsten. It was a critical moment for me, critical game, and things didn't work out my way. Again, I made some wrong decisions based on the opening and found myself in a very unfamiliar territory and playing against a young guy that's in good shape. He didn't give me any moments to escape really. So, but looking back on that, I definitely think that okay, first of all, these players that made it, they deserve it. But I definitely got some pointers on what I should do to get back into into the form that I think I should be in. So yeah, it was definitely a memorable essay closed. Nothing to write home about checks wise, but we will survive as chess players, and we will definitely continue. And I'm looking forward to future of chess in South Africa.
Yeah, I think it was definitely was an important moment for the new chessa, the new board, to sort of have their first event, so to speak. But I think the way things are running, there's been an essay closed that was held, and so far so good. It looks like at least in terms of the events and things happening, we're going in the right direction in that thing, and everything else has to be organized, isn't it? I mean, I think in terms of because I think there's been a lot of emphasis on youth chess. Nothing wrong with that. You need that, but I think you also need some planning in adult chess.
Yeah, definitely.
And I think there's been a long time there hasn't been any plans that have kind of happened. I mean, I was also, for example, asking Banele if there's been any talks, any movement, because he got a medal in the All Africa Games, the bronze, and
yes.
And if you are to believe what we've been reading about, like some of the countries that have been having incentives for medals, like I think Egypt comes to mind. Like there's been talks of them getting some very good incentives for the medals, and so I was talking to Bane, like has anyone said anything, and well, I don't know now, but when I was talking to him, he was saying like, no, nothing. Has been. So I think, unfortunately, sometimes there can be some casualties in a fight like this, because things are not yet clear, and I think, unfortunately, for his result, that could be like that, because you need a chesser that is settled. That can take something like this and spin it, and get, so it hasn't been in the media, it hasn't been as far as I know, it hasn't been put out there.
Yeah.
So but I think there are many problems that Chess South Africa is just having at the moment, that or rather things on the plate that they have to deal with now.
Yeah.
And could be unfortunate on that side, but let's hope that it won't take too long before things stabilize and get even.
I think it's like Nakamura says, for now, us chess players, we should just try to play good chess and hope good things happen. So okay, thanks, Watu. I think that's enough nonsense for today. But I hope the viewers enjoyed part 2 of our essay closed discussion 2024.
Absolutely.
And if you liked what you have been watching, please support us by pressing the subscribe button. And we will certainly see you for the next one. See you guys. Cheers.